Welcome once again to Start It Up. This is the video series here on ZDNet where we talk to young entrepreneurs about what could be the next big idea. And I'm with Marcus Shappy from NinjaBlocks. So if I'm looking at this and looking at your website and trying to get a handle on what this is all about, you're basically trying to facilitate a way for developers, mobile developers, to control devices, which could be any device, I guess.
Yes, that's correct. Not just mobile developers, but web developers and other app developers. It could be an app that runs on your desktop as well.
So what sort? And these are devices that could be. I mean, I could think laterally here. I mean, we're used to doing things like controlling lights or controlling our fridge, perhaps. I mean, it could be anything at all.
It could be controlling your pool. It could be a home security system. It could be monitoring your wine cellar collection.
Right.
So.
And so it's a software piece, but there's a box involved as well, so there's a bit of hardware. So tell me what each is doing here.
So we make two products. The first is the NinjaBlock, which is a tiny, powerful computer that can sense and affect its environment. The second is an amazing web app we call NinjaCloud that connects your NinjaBlocks up to your favorite web apps.
Right.
So together, they really remove the impediments of needing to know electronics, programming, and networking when it comes to building apps that speak to hardware.
So when you're talking about understanding, the box is understanding its environment, what it's understanding where it is, or?
It can sense, so our current NinjaBlock has two sensors in it, a accelerometer and temperature sensor.
Right.
We can add other sensors simply by plugging them in. We're pretty pleased to announce that we've got another NinjaBlock that's coming out any week now that does wireless sensing as well.
Right. So ultimately, I'm trying to figure out in the equation between the end user and the device, the box is sitting connected to the device, or?
So today the box is actually a tiny little Linux computer.
Yeah.
And it connects to other sensors, and it also has its own sensors. It can go and look out onto the network and, in theory, go and speak to smart connected devices that are already on your network. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sort of does. So say it's a consumer device that I'm wanting to control, I'd need one of these boxes for each one of these devices, or?
No.
No.
So one NinjaBlock should, in theory, be able to connect to multiple consumer devices, or ideally, over time, we want our NinjaCloud technology put into these consumer devices so they can speak directly to our web platform.
Right. Okay. I think I'm getting it, but not
That's okay.
but not entirely.
Yeah.
But we'll come back. I'm sure as we talk more, I'll get more of it right. But I mean, is this very new? I mean, we've been talking for a long time about the idea that we're going to be able to control devices, and we have to a certain extent. So I've got, for example, I never used it. I think I took it out of the box. I've got something that allows me to control the lights in my house over the internet.
Yeah.
So how does it relate to something like that?
I don't think the concept itself is new. I just think that the angles at which people are solving this problem is new. We've got all these new web technologies that allow us to do things like speaking to hardware, and we've got APIs that are found in TVs. You can't buy a smart TV. You can't buy a TV without it being smart.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing this convergence of connected devices and this beautiful application delivery system of app stores, be it on iPhone or Android.
Right. Okay. So what you're trying to do is try and make it easier to work your way into those APIs and understand it, and give it some sort of structure, so everyone's not reinventing the wheel, basically.
Yep.
And are there many people using that at the moment? Have you got a bit of traction with this so far?
Yeah. So we did a big launch on Kickstarter where we sold a whole heap of NinjaBlocks.
Right.
And now we're preparing our second lot of NinjaBlocks to go out the door, and hopefully a whole lot more people will be on the platform.
Right. And is the block important? Will that always be part of the equation, or is it ultimately you're just going to go down the software road?
Yeah, the block's a bit of a head fake. We really needed the block, and it's this thing that people always pay attention to.
Right.
But over time, we really want our core technology to be our software that gets embedded into consumer devices.
Right. Okay. Now that starts to make a great deal of sense. But that's a big ask, isn't it? You've got to have a lot of users and a lot of applications that are using that device for then other device manufacturers to say, well, yeah, let's buy this technology off you, I guess.
So the block gives us a bit of a break today in that it means that we've got this device that can sit on somebody's network at home and then go out and interrogate all these third-party connected devices.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily need these third-party devices to come to us and say, hey, yeah, we want to install the Ninja software into our device. We can just go out there and do it without their involvement.
Right. So practical uses then. If I say I want to nick next door to the next door neighbour, and I'm expecting someone to come around, expecting a parcel delivery or something.
Yeah.
So we're talking about, so could I, for example, if someone rings the doorbell, get a text message on my mobile phone?
Absolutely.
Right, and that's the sort of thing. And your mind can just go wild trying to think about it.
We do that out of the box today. Not only do we make it easy to connect to hardware, but we make it easier for that hardware to connect to third-party web services like Twitter, Facebook, Dropbox, that kind of thing.
Facebox, there's another good
Facebox.
idea. There we are. There's another box you can sell. That'll
Why
probably
not?
do very well. So are many people doing this sort of thing? I mean, not actually developing the applications. I'm sure there's lots, but there are many people actually working on the APIs and providing the interfaces.
It's just really getting started now.
Right.
There's a lot of connected devices that are coming online now, but there aren't that many what I would term polyglot devices where you got a box and it senses multiple things and it connects to multiple things. They're far and few between.
Right. So what are the big challenges you're going to? I mean, it sounds like this market is going to be huge, and if you're in there and you're right, then you can do really well. But I guess it's a question of getting known about and forming those relationships. Sounds like getting those relationships with the application providers, the actual devices is critical, isn't it?
So many challenges wherever you look. So we're shipping hardware, so that's all challenges there.
Yeah.
We're building a platform. Getting developers to come onto that platform is a challenge.
Yeah.
They want to have an audience to actually, develop apps for. Getting that audience is a challenge.
Yeah.
So every direction is challenges. And
is it working though? Are you making inroads in all of those directions?
Yes, we are.
Right. So people are starting to develop apps on it. Right.
So one of the things we've done is made the NinjaBlox software run on other devices like the Raspberry Pi, which is a cheap Linux computer that's just come out, Arduino, which is an open source microcontroller. So we've been sort of seeding the market by putting our technologies out there for anybody to use for free.
Right, okay. And you're making money just selling, I guess it's a service, isn't it? You're selling the boxes and you're selling access to the software.
So in the grand scheme, that would be wonderful. But it's a platform play. So right now we want to get as many people onto the platform as possible.
Right.
And to do that, we're making the platform free.
Right.
So there's lots of ways we can monetize that. I think the thing to say is we're making money on the hardware today.
Right, okay. Oh, well, that's worked successfully for quite a few companies in the past.
Yeah.
That's right, made the platform free but sell the hardware.
That's correct.
So, and how long have you been at this game for?
January 3rd this year.
Right, okay. So it's still relatively early days. And how long are you going to give it? I mean, it's before is it a 5-year play or what's the story?
Till it's done.
Well, that's never then, isn't it, obviously?
It's such a good opportunity.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It might not be next year, might not be the year after, but all these market forces are coming into play right now that makes this a really good offering.
Right. Okay. Well, look, the question is, are you guys going to be the ones who make it happen? And that's, I guess, the point of these videos is that people could take a bit of a vote and say whether they think you're going to make a success of it or not, and we'll see what people say. But appreciate you coming in and telling us all about it.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time.